Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I think it's really important when we have this discussion that we separate the intent versus the outcome. Now, it's clear the intent is to make sure all those under 16 do not have access to social media. As a father of a 10 and 12-year-old, as someone that visits many schools, I don't want anyone under 16 to be on social media, and that's not in doubt on this side of the House. But intent is one thing and outcome is the other. And intent without outcome being delivered is irrelevant. And the reality is this legislation has not worked. 6 months later, we are back again because it has not worked. And those opposite ask what has changed from yesterday and the day before when we supported it in the House to the Senate. It's the government guillotine debate and wouldn't have an inquiry into this legislation. They weren't prepared to look at the detail and understand. So let's look at history. Let's look at history. This legislation was introduced on Monday this week. This government are wanting to ram it through the House on Thursday. But let's look at December, when this first legislation was brought in December. The government rushed a committee through that allowed 4 hours of public hearings on the social media ban for under 16s in December last year. They rushed this process through, would not have debate and engagement, and understanding that this is a technical decision to get right. They rushed it through in December, and we are back here again looking to make amendments because the legislation hasn't worked. They are doubling down on making the same mistake. And the Coalition is saying, let's take the time to have an inquiry, to do the work, understand really why it has failed and why we can get it right the second time. Because as the member for Barara said, we don't want to be back here in 6 months' time having to amend it again. The detail was wrong the first time. Let's get it right. Well, let's get it. Why not? Why don't we get it right the second time? The minister is happy to fly to New York, claim mission accomplished like former President Bush did, and we have not succeeded. We have not succeeded. I will not take moral lectures from those opposite that think Mark Latham is fit to be leader of the Australian Labor Party. I will not take moral lectures from you all. And I understand it's a little bit of a nerve from those opposite. You spend a lot of time rushing legislation through this House for political means. Doing your job is getting the legislation right. This legislation is not working. How is it not working? I will explain to you if you stop interjecting and listening. Young children are still on social media. They deactivate their accounts and create new accounts. Your minister failed. Your minister rushed this legislation through the House, and we need to get it right. We need to get this legislation right. It was wrong the first time. 6 months later, we are seeing that. There was no proper inquiry into this legislation in December, and this government are refusing to have a second inquiry to try and clean up their own mess. And I understand it is a sore point for them. We see it time and time again that the backbench have to follow orders. They can't get what they want on gambling reform. They have to take the sandwich from those. They have to follow the Prime Minister's lead on a bad budget, and they have to continue to follow the minister that is failing when it comes to social media. The intent is correct. The intent is correct. The outcome is wrong. And we know that the outcome is wrong because the minister is back here trying to fix up the mess that the minister made. If the minister had got it right the first time, we wouldn't be back here the second time. And the real question is, why is the minister not prepared to actually have some scrutiny on the legislation? And the reason is because the minister knows that they failed the first time, they have failed again the second time by not doing the process. And the reality is, as the member for Barara said, we don't want to come back and have to do it a third time in 6 months' time or 12 months' time. Let's let the experts have their say. Let's get it right so we can protect young Australians.
Aaron Violi hits the nail on the head. Everyone agrees, keep kids under 16 off social media. But intent means nothing without results. 6 months later, the ban's failing. Kids just deactivate and create new accounts. Studies show over 85% are still on the platforms. Labor rushed it through with minimal scrutiny, no proper inquiry. Now they're back guillotining amendments to fix their own mess, without learning from what went wrong. Violi's call is simple. Slow down, hold a real inquiry, and get it right this time. Australians want outcomes that actually protect kids, not more performative politics.